Hello, LilyKatchum video. Today we're gonna take a look at, honestly, a Pokemon I was quite excited about for no particular reason, to be fair, but I just like Hariyama. I don't know why, but I think this is like one of the coolest Pokemon based on the stats actually. Not even the design, not really the moveset, but the stats are actually kinda hilarious on this Pokemon, especially as a Shadow Pokemon for Pokemon Go. I talked in several videos about this Pokemon, actually me wanting this Pokemon to be decent, and now maybe finally it is time for it to shine. We're going to have Force-Palm on this Pokemon now in this season, which is going to be not a better counter generally speaking, but a better counter this season because counter got nerfed. And so Force-Palm is going to be the way to go, and we also have Superpower doing a ton of damage from this Pokemon here, but yeah, sadly it kinda lacks a secondary charge move there as well. Heavy Slam is fine against Fairy-type Pokemon, I guess, but it's not a great move. Like, it's just not a great move. I think it's an 80 damage move for 50 energy, which is, I think, the same as like Dark Pulse or something like this. Like, it is okay, but it's not great. But what is definitely great is definitely this Pokemon here, the Alone Sandslash. This Pokemon was by far the best Pokemon from this team, doing so much work. But also what is really cool is now that the Sableye got quite a decent buff with the recent update to Power Gem, making it a 50 energy move instead of 60, plus also buffing the damage output of it, makes it a very strong Pokemon now. Like Shadow Sableye, very good Pokemon to use right now, very cool Pokemon to have. And this team itself worked out super well for me. Would really recommend you to try it out. Main cause for loss was actually Niantic and their servers, but we're gonna talk about this maybe a bit later. There are going to be some matchups here today where I definitely going to lose because the game just lagged, which is really annoying. But yeah, it is what it is. That's the game we play. Hopefully it's going to be better in the future. It might also be because of the heat wave that's currently going on here and my phone overheating. Could be also my fault, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to see here one big issue for this team, which is Jellicent, which is a Pokemon that should not really exist anymore in the meta because it got nerfed this season with Surf needing more energy, making it actually a quite significant nerf for this Pokemon. But here was kind of a little bit sad about this scenario as well because they survived with 1 HP to get the move off. Like, if they didn't, this would have been so much easier for me. But they're still going to be in a very difficult spot, I guess, for them. Jellicent is going to have to take this Drill Run, going to use a shield on it, and we can go back into our Shadow Sableye, which can go for nearly the full farm down. But they swap out now into the Obama Snow. Obama Snow, a Pokemon that definitely does not enjoy Power Gem, especially now this is going to one-shot them for sure after the damage buff. And so we're going to use a shield here. The opponent goes ahead and goes for their Weather Ball. We can just go straight for the knockout with Power Gem here again. This is gonna guarantee the knockout, and we will see here the opponent going back into the Jellicent and just forfeiting. Next opponent, Oranguru. Oh, this Pokemon is supposedly the biggest core breaker for the current season. I highly doubt it, to be fair. I think this Pokemon is okay, it is definitely decent, but yeah, at least for my team here that I'm running, this Pokemon has next to nothing to do. Like, we have a good answer even in the Sableye doing super effective damage against it. Only Pokemon that's kinda decent against is the Hariyama, but even there, like, a superpower would one-shot it most likely. So yeah, Oranguru, interesting Pokemon still. I might make a video about it in the future, but right now I don't really think it is the greatest Pokemon to run, but it's definitely also not a bad Pokemon to run. Here we're gonna see the opponent, which also got buffed kind of this season, just based because other Pokemon got nerfed. As you will see here as well, Oranguru can take a foul play, great job there, but it's gonna go down to another one and barely did any damage in the meantime. So yeah, this Pokemon was just kinda more of a liability for the opponent as they're gonna go ahead and go into the Donphin. And I should have stopped out earlier. I should have done a lot of things different here. If I stopped out straight away, I think I would have been able to get to the superpower here in time anyway. I thought the opponent, by the way, had a Pokemon still in the back, which they didn't, but they're running Earthquake here, and this is going to allow us to win the game still. A very silly place by me sometimes here, by the way. I had like 4 hours of sleep this night, so that was definitely one of the reasons why I couldn't really concentrate too much, but it is fine. We're gonna have Power Gem here coming up against the opponent. This would knock them out. Charger Bug, a Pokemon I have really not seen so far, and I have to say, I tried out before I did this video here for this gameplay. I tried out Ampharos, and I would really not recommend you Ampharos, and I also would not really recommend you to run the Charger Bug anymore. And Ampharos might be even the better Pokemon to use compared to it, because you have coverage for the grass type there, which is going to be very important. Like, Trailblaze is going to allow you to beat something like Gastron, like in theory at least. But basically every single battle that I did where I used the Ampharos as a sales swap, I had a Clodsire against me then in the back, and like, what am I supposed to do as an electric type? It's definitely not the season of electric type Pokemon. It's definitely the season of ground type Pokemon and everything that's great against ground type Pokemon. Anyway, Aerial Ace is gonna get shield here by us. We're going to see here as well that we can use a shield again against the Aerial Ace. It's kind of our only way of winning this battle. I have to hope that I can kind of swap out. The opponent makes a little bit of a weird play here. They decide to undercharge that Aerial Ace, which is fine because we can still survive and we have 2 charge moves stored. Doesn't really matter. If you would have got to the drill run, would have got a shield here, maybe had a chance of winning this battle, but like this, there is nothing I can do. Next opponent, we're going to have a Sandslash Mirror matchup. That is going to be something where I kind of would like to swap out here into my Sableye. Main reason for this is we have the Hariyama in the back. Like, Hariyama would completely annihilate the opponent here. But let's see what we can do here. We can go for a foul play. This would be able to mostly knock them out actually at this range, but would mostly just get close to knocking them out, doesn't really knock them out straight away. But now we can take a look at the Force Palm damage, which is guaranteed coming through here, doing so much, like honestly. That's 30% with just one fast move, which is ridiculous, and they are gonna go down now. In camps the Drapion from the opponent, we can overfarm by a bit. This is going to do so much damage, they're forced to use a shield here unless they want to go down. They decide to use a shield and I can swap out here as they're gonna reveal the final Pokemon being the Araquanid. Araquanid, interesting choice here. I don't think this Pokemon has too much play right now in the current season. Like, you have a lot of Mud Boys. I guess it is a great answer for the Gastrodon. I guess you can counter Gastrodon with this Pokemon. I guess this might be the way, or like the reason why this Pokemon has some potential. Or is there anything I miss with this thing? Because I don't know, like, it is very okay here in this scenario as well, because every move of us is going to be resisted. Does it really matter? Not really. We're still doing more damage. They're swapping out, allowing us to basically reset our attack as well. They go for an Aqua Tail here, totally fine for me. And I can use a shield. I can just go ahead and use a shield, overfarm by a bit, go for 2 more fast moves here most likely. Or actually go for 3 and go for the full farm down. That is going to seal the deal. That was a very smart play by me, which I didn't even expect here. And so, that's going to be a knockout and we can move on to the next opponent. Sandslash against the Drifblim, exactly, Sandslash against the Drifblim there. Drifblim here, of course, going to be a Pokemon that we're gonna have a great matchup against, unless they're running Mystical Fire. Mystical Fire would allow them to do some decent damage against us as an Ice type, definitely gonna one-shot us, but they're going to reveal their Pokemon here in the back being the Moltang. We can go for the Heavy Slam so we don't debuff ourselves, which in hindsight maybe was the wrong play, because now they can go into the Drifblim here, and we cannot go for another charge move, so Superpower would have been a bit better. But we can go back into our Sandslash, and Sandslash can go for an Ice Punch, and Sandslash is very likely going to force a shield from the opponent here, as they decide to, go for their own charge move again. A Mystical Fire is a bit of a risk for us, but they decide to go for the Ice Wind, which is fine, and they reveal the final Pokemon being the Kiliki. That is not going to be a great matchup for us, because they have access to the move Shadow Ball, which is going to be a big threat for us. The Shadow Ball is coming through doing a ton of damage, but I feel like we are not in range yet for a Body Slam to knock us out, and so I think we're not in a key spot. We have to see here. I decide to let the move go through. It is going to be that Body Slam, and it's not going to be enough. And this is perfect, because now we can go for another foul play. This is going to be able to get the knockout against them, actually. And so it's down to our Sandslash to win this battle, and I have to call the bait here. And it works. And that is great. That is fantastic. There is nothing the opponent can do here anymore. Double Ice Punch is coming their way, and that is going to be a good game. Goodbye opponent, nothing they can do here, and we can move on to the next opponent. Well, let's see how this game gonna go. We're gonna have Clodsire in the lead. That is going to be a matchup that we're definitely going to enjoy quite a bit, and they swap out straight away, and I don't really have a good Feraligatr answer. I would rather recommend you to go for something like the Pangoro maybe in the back if you want to have a better Feraligatr answer. Pangoro is able to resist the fast move while also outspeeding it, which is kind of nice. Here, we can force to go for a Heavy Slam. We're just gonna get the shield, which I'm happy with, as I can get them a little bit lower as well. But as you're gonna see here now, I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Sableye, go for the full farm down, which at least works out. I was a bit scared of getting hit by that Hydro Cannon, but now they're gonna very likely swap back out into the Clodsire. I should have very likely swapped out straight away, but again, my brain is not really working today. Like, falls asleep, not really ideal. But foul play, going to be able to at least connect here. We're going to try to use a shield as well against the opponent. It is going to be the Earthquake coming through, and so another foul play would be enough, but they swap out, catch the move onto the Azumarill. You might think, that is a great catch from them. Wow, that is going to be so amazing. But honestly, I don't actually even think that it's going to work out too well for them, because as you're gonna see here as well, the opponent is going to be forced to go for a charge move now, and we're going to have the Sand Slash, which usually completely wards the moveset. If they have Hydro Cannon, Hydro Pump, this game is over. They don't, they have Play Rough, and so we are definitely in that game for sure. We can go for the Drill Run. Drill Run is going to be able to now connect or get the shield, and I think we still survive. I'm fairly certain we still survive here. We should have another Drill Run stored, and so the opponents, yeah, gonna go down now. Like, there's nothing they can do about this. They're gonna go down. Drill Run is going to connect, and we will see the Clodsai coming in. Having to take one foul play is going to be devastating for them, as it's gonna take the knockout, and we can move on to the next opponent. We are going to have a Goodra here. Goodra is going to be a very good lead here, as the opponent is going to stay in here for whatever reason. I don't really understand it, but they decide to even use a shield here on the Goodra, which is fine, I guess. That is totally okay. We're gonna see here that we can use a shield as well. Awkward Tail is coming through, and we can try our best as they swap out into the Toxapex. We can double resist the fast move. We can hit them with super effective damage as well. And so, yeah, we're going to be in a very solid spot. But we kind of also want to keep our lead alive, as it's going to be for sure our best answer to that Goodra. But yeah, as you're gonna see here, the opponent is gonna go for a Brine, doesn't really do too much damage, but we have to be a bit careful, and this is going to be a CMP tie, which is perfect. Like, this is literally ideal. We're gonna see as well that we are going to be able to now even go for another foul play against that Goodra, making it so much worse for them. This is going to be, yeah, getting the shield here as well, which is gonna go right, and we can try to go for the full farm down with our Hariyama. There's still reach a move, but I can use the shield, and Hariyama is hitting so hard. Like, you don't believe how hard this Pokemon can hit. Superior is coming in, gonna get hit by a superpower. Would imagine it's gonna put him straight into the red house, and this Pokemon is quite bulky, so yeah, it does. And so we can swap out, knock them out, win the battle, and move on to the next battle. Well, let's find out what the next opponent is going to have here. We're going to have the Malamar. Malamar is going to be great for us. Malamar is going to allow us to at least resist the fast move, but we have to be a bit careful because Super Pole is going to one-shot us for sure, and so we are going to be able to use a shield here. They're going to be debuffed, and with this, we're going to be able to get even another Ace Punch off. This is going to get the shield. We can go for another one because they went straight for that charge move. Allowed me to get a free fast move in before. Now we can catch the superpower onto our Ghost type, and that is going to be lovely. As you will see here, we're gonna get out the opponent's Sableye, and this is perfect for us as well, because we don't really want to face a Ghost type with our Fighting type in the back. I am more than happy with what is happening here. I'm gonna decide to use a shield, of course, because this is going to allow us to get another foul play off, and even if it doesn't knock them out, which I think it might be enough, we're still gonna be fine. Like, we're still gonna be fine. There is no way that we're not gonna be fine here. But it's going to be a Decidueye in the back, and we have to outspeed them here, and we can outspeed them. If we would have not been able to outspeed them there, the game would have been over. Like, we cannot do anything against Ghost types with our Hariyama, but we didn't even have to use it. Next opponent, Chestnut in the lead. That is going to be a very decent lead for us for sure. But let's see how this is gonna go. They're gonna swap out into a Talonflame. Talonflame is a tough one. Talonflame is a core breaker for this team, guaranteed. But at least we can swap out into our Sableye, right? So we can go for the foul play. Honestly, again, I said before, I wasn't really concentrating too much here. I could have did some better fast move timing here, which actually would have been quite impactful, because I would have got this foul play off at this point of time already, and that is not really ideal. And I try to click on it, and we lose the CMP tie, which I actually didn't expect. I thought that Sableye would be a little bit more attack weighted compared to the Talonflame, but apparently I'm wrong. At least we can still counter them down here. But Chestnut is coming in now, and I also completely forgot how much energy the opponent had here, and that is quite silly. So, yeah, this is not really working out too well for us. We would have been able to very likely win the battle, by the way, if I just played it a bit better. But it is what it is. Talonflame is, by the way, just barely a bit of a better attack stat than our Sableye. Our Sableye actually wins against the rank 1 Talonflame, turns out the attack one there, so they definitely have a little bit of an attack investment onto their Talonflame. But that's kind of interesting to know. Here, I definitely would have been able to counter down the final Pokemon, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think this is the battle that really annoyed me. We're gonna see the Jumpluff in the lead, which is a great matchup for us. And we're gonna see also the Licky coming in. I make a bit of a mistake here, for sure. I sure went for the Heavy Slam here already, but I decided to go for the full farm down, thinking I would get to there before the opponent gets to Body Slam. Big mistake. Honestly, this is going to change quite a bit. And this is on me. That's definitely on me. Should have played it better, didn't play it better, and that is very sad. But I can go for a Heavy Slam, getting them a bit lower at least here, which is going to be fine as well. But I want to swap out eventually. I think, but I'm not going to do this, I guess, because we kind of want to just, yeah, not have our ghost type aligned or like dark type aligned there. And this is the thing that really annoyed me here, I think. We're going to be able to go for one charge move. This is going to be the Ice Punch. That's totally fine. We're going to get some damage onto them and we can try to catch the move here, which is all good. Like, all totally fine. We need our Sand Slash a bit more than we need our Sableye, so I'm just going to let the move go through. I should maybe even be able to get to another charge move afterwards, but even if not, we still have a very solid spot of winning this one here. But yeah, let's take a look at this one. We're gonna see some bit of a lag there. I don't think it really matters at all, but we can use a shield now. The opponent is going to go ahead and swap out now into the jump loft. We can go for the full farm down. We can still take this hit here. And now we're actually in a spot where we might be able to just go for 3 Ice Punches in a row and win the battle with that. And as you can see here, you saw the lag and you see 2 moves coming through while I only got 1 fast move in. And it's going to decide the game, which you're going to see here now. The opponent gets to the move there. I would have been able to outspeed them for the 3 charge moves, but I couldn't anymore because they got a free fast move in for no reason at all. And this is the game they play. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. This team is still very solid. Hariyama, there are mostly better options, but it was a lot of fun to play. And I'm happy about it. Hopefully they buff it still a bit in the future. And that's going to be it for me. See you then. Bye-bye.